All right. So what you got for me today, buddy?
I got a couple things. So obviously I'm a Clemson fan. So let's talk about Trevor Lawrence first.
Okay.
That pro day, what did you think of it? What were your thoughts on it? I think it was extremely unnecessary, but I mean, I guess it was nice to see him get out there and throw against air.
So here's the explanation I heard. I agree with you. I thought it was unnecessary. I even said before the pro day, I said, why is he doing this? Like, just go get the surgery.
Right.
You're going to be the first pick no matter what.
That was my thoughts as well. I mean, he's been the first pick since his freshman year.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what was the point, right?
This this was a dog and pony show is what it was. And Urban Meyer pretty much confirmed that. He said he had a Skype call with Trevor Lawrence and said, hey, I know you're getting the surgery and all, but can you maybe just show up and throw for – so here's the thing. So Urban Meyer has seen Trevor Lawrence play live football games several times, well, at least twice against Ohio State. I think at the national championship against LSU. So he's seen him throw in big time games in person, on the sidelines.
Yeah, numerous times.
And so he knows what kind of player he is firsthand. But he said my passing game coordinator, my offensive coordinator haven't seen him in person. So we just want you to come throw a couple of balls just so they can see, how the ball comes out of your hand, the velocity, the accuracy. No big deal, right? They're not doing he threw the ball like 50 times in 30 minutes. That's not exactly like a pro day workout, right? It's just him throwing the ball just so they can get an idea of what he is. So I still think it was unnecessary, but I also think that this was Urban Meyer's way of saying, look, we're taking you first overall, buddy. Just come throw the ball a couple times to let my guys that work for me feel as comfortable about you as I do. That's all that was.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. Like, Was it like Urban Meyer, like making his first NFL play and asserting his dominance?
Yeah, kind of
over the rest of the team. Like, hey, like he was literally standing 4 yards in front of, Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah.
With Dabo Swinney standing right there talking to him the whole time. I feel like it was like, hey, this is my quarterback. You guys can be here and watch all you want. But, there's no chance.
Well, there's no doubt that whether he threw that day or not, he was going to be the first guy taken. But I'm still seeing people say, the morons on the internet, which is the internet's full of a bunch of idiots. He's still going to take Fields. I don't know what these people are watching. Urban Meyer is not the coach.
The Ohio State connection, of course, even though he's never coached Fields a day in his life.
And he's not an Ohio State quarterback. He's not an Ohio State quarterback. He's getting paid $10 million a year or whatever, or $12 million a year in the NFL to win Super Bowls.
Right.
He does. It could be Joe Schmo off the street. If he's the best player, he's taking him. He's not going to just draft Ohio State players because he's Urban Meyer. People that think that are well, I'm not going to say it, but you know what they are.
I mean, it could be Tom Brady coming from, Boise State. It doesn't matter. He's taking the best quarterback because why else would he come to Jacksonville if he wasn't going to take the best quarterback available?
Yeah, he's in love with Trevor Lawrence, as he should be. There's no doubt about that. And, I'm actually kind of happy about that. I think seeing Trevor Lawrence play against Deshaun Watson, if Watson stays in Houston, that'll be fun to watch a couple times a year because they're in the same division.
Do you think the Texans will trade Watson, or you think? I mean, they're going to play hardball and see if he's willing to set out.
Yeah, that's the $1 million question, or the $100 million question, literally.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think they want to trade him. I think they know that he's, the chances that they get another guy in the draft as good as he is, as young as he is, are pretty much slim to none. So they don't want to get rid of him. The question, like you said, is Deshaun Watson going to pull the ultimate, is he going to sit out? And
if he is, the question is, at what point do the Texans have to cut their losses and be like, hey, we just need to get what we can get for this guy, whether it is, a quarterback that's already established in the league, or draft picks or whatnot,
Deshaun Watson won't do this. because he's too much of a stand-up guy. But you know what I would do if they refuse to trade me? I would say, okay, I'll be your starter day one. First play of the game, the defensive line starts rushing you. I hand the ball to the defensive end and let him run it in for a touchdown. Now you're still getting paid, right? They might bench you and say you're throwing the game.
They can't fine him for that. They can bench him, but
they can bench him, and if they're benching him, they're still paying him his full salary. So they'll be forced to trade him.
Right.
Now he wouldn't do that because he's that's kind of he wouldn't do it. But it would be the ultimate troll job, and it would force them to trade him. But
that would be hilarious to watch.
It would be. It would be. He wouldn't do that to his teammates.
I feel bad for Deshaun Watson. I mean, the Texans are a complete joke when it comes to an NFL franchise. So I hope he gets out of there. Yeah, I really do.
We'll see. We'll see. It's the biggest off-season story in the NFL. I mean, you got a guy who's a top 3 or 4 quarterback in the league, who just signed a contract 5 months ago, requesting a trade. And I
get it. He kind of cuffed himself when it came to signing that contract. But I mean,
yeah,
it's really hard to say no to money like that.
Well, but so Bill,
how many of us would be like, oh no to money like that?
He signed that contract.
I feel like
he signed that contract before they fired their head coach, and before some other things happened. So, I mean,
exactly.
It's like anybody else.
Like,
you can change your mind.
Right. With Deshaun Watson's character, I mean, I feel like, we as Clemson fans especially, or, just following his career from high school to college to the NFL, he's got, amazing character. And I don't feel like the whole story has come out on the Texans as far as what is really going on there and why he really wants to leave.
Well, the ironic thing is he apparently
a figure in that city.
Yeah, he apparently had a dinner with the McNair family, the owners of the team, during the off season, or as soon as the season ended, and said, "Hey, look, I love it here. I want to stay here for the rest of my career, but here's a couple things I want from you," and they made promises to him. Now, he wanted to say and who the next GM would be. He wanted to say and who the next head coach would be. And people go, well, where does he get that right? Well, they could have just told him then, no, you don't get a say, Deshaun. But they told him that he could.
Front with them and be like, hey, Deshaun, you're the quarterback. We're going to pay you, but hey, we're going to run the team how we want to run it.
Now,
and that's none of your concern.
Now, if you lie to the guy and say, okay, yeah, but then and then don't follow up on your promise, that's what he's mad about. That's all he's mad about.
Exactly.
He doesn't like being lied to, and I don't blame him. And then the funny thing is, all the people that criticize him for doing that, and then, just what was it last week? Russell Wilson comes out and says he's not happy with the personnel on the offensive line at Seattle, and he wants future decisions on the personnel, or he might leave. So he's doing the same thing.
Yeah, and everybody's like, oh, well, he deserves that. Like,
why?
How exactly does he deserve that when the franchise never promised him that?
Exactly.
Deshaun Watson's franchise literally promised him, like, hey, we're going to take your input when we do these things.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you right now,
so,
I have no idea. If he goes anywhere, I'd love to see him come to Carolina. That would be the greatest thing that could happen.
So,